Hey guys, what's going on? Long time no see. If you're used to watching the channel, you're not used to seeing my face. I don't know how long it's been since I've even shown my face on the channel, but here, just kind of want to change things up because this video is definitely going to be a little different. I know everyone's used to seeing gameplay videos from me, but I'm in the process of moving and I've discovered I have an absolute just plethora of just kind of like boneyard and abandoned guns that I bought from people over the years, ever since probably before COVID. I didn't really realize that I had as many as I did. So I thought this video would be kind of cool, just kind of showcasing the guns that I'm pulling out that I almost really had plans for, had no plans for, and will more than likely be featured on the channel in the coming months as I work on them. And figured I'm testing kind of like a new GoPro setup, so I actually have kind of like a vlog setup, which is kind of cool. So kind of bringing you guys along on the journey and just showing you the process I go through and bringing these things back to life. A lot of these guns, I think some people wouldn't even consider them to be even boneyard guns because most of them actually work. It's just like fine-tuning them to like the standard that you see most of the stuff shoot on the channel. I feel like in the airsoft world, that bridge is kind of missing, where, you know, all the airsoft videos are just gameplay specific almost. So I think it'd be kind of cool to show you guys like the process I go through, you know, working on these guns, finding parts, especially some of the ones that are discontinued or rare, and putting them all together and you guys see the final result. So gonna go work on digging everything out, just because they're probably in 5 or 6 different places in this house. And yeah, I'm gonna bring you guys along for the ride. Hopefully this audio doesn't suck because I'm using the new like media mod for the GoPro Hero 10 that I just bought. And yeah, let's freaking do it. Okay, man, I feel like I'm out of breath the amount of guns that I was picking up from everywhere. I even left I decided to leave about half of them that are just like unrecognizable. So I've brought all the ones that are kind of together, which you would more than likely see. So we're gonna get into it. I'm gonna take, you can see them kind of behind me. I'm gonna take a quick picture for the thumbnail and then we'll get into it. Oh, and make sure you stick around to the end because I'm gonna show you what's in this super cool box that I found. And no, it's not a KWA. And I'll show you something even cooler related to that box. But let's get into it. So I pretty much have everything laid out. We're gonna start with one you guys probably would have seen if you've been attached to the channel in the last few months. So this is that ENC, like Car 15, I was having issues with at Airsoft Tactical. Not really sure what direction I wanna go with it, but nothing really has changed since I played with it. It still has like the grip tape on it. The issue was a MOSFET issue, definitely, but other than that, it was pretty much a stock gun and it shot great. So if you're looking for like a low budget friendly gun that you could probably do anything with that's not proprietary in the slightest, these little ENC like Car 15s. I'll have to find the actual name of them, but it should be pretty easy to find. All right, next up we have this, I believe, actually I know, it's a GMP body. It's just been absolutely massacred. I originally thought it was a Polar Star Jack that was in here, but actually when I was getting it out, it's a fusion engine, which I don't have a ton of experience in, but I'm gonna have to. So this is like an attempted Mark 18 build. I got it not too long ago, but it's definitely built quite some time ago. It has the Lonex hop-ups, which we all used to love. It has a licensed Daniel defense rail. Other than that, everything's not really going together. This body pin won't go in. It's missing bits and pieces. This thing's just for fucking looks at this point. And no charging handle. Well, it has a charging handle, but it just comes off, so. Now this one, if you've played for a very long time, this would catch your attention. So to most people, this just looks like your normal like AR. However, this is an old VFC OEM Daniel Defense licensed M4 with the matching rail, which was sold separately. These are super rare, and to find the actual original Daniel Defense ones are almost next to impossible. This is the only one that I've seen in honestly quite a few years. And the reason I know it's like probably before 2010 is this hop-up unit, which I'll show you. So it has one of those old clear VFC hop-up units, which means it's just absolutely ancient, but this thing's just begging to be HPA'd, so we'll see what we do with it. Another gun that no one really cared about, this was in the Avalon family, but probably went extinct for lack of a better word. It was an epic failure on Elite Force's part. This was built using the old like Knights Armament Corps PDW machinery that they used for their OG PDWs, which I do have and you guys have seen on the channel. This is called the VFC Avalon Gladius. Missing charging handle, missing bolt, which wouldn't be a big issue if it was normal Avalon ones, but it's PDW specific. So I've actually already reached out to Elite Force to see if they can source me one. And if so, we're gonna do something cool with this. I tried to separate all the AKs out to be all together, although I got bored and just didn't. So you have 3 in a row and then you might see a few others later. This is a E&L bodied Wolverine Inferno build that I got pretty recently. Doesn't work, shoots terrible. and we're gonna go through, re-lube it, check the alignment, all that stuff, and then we'll see if I put it in a video or something. It's super basic. I mean, there's nothing special happening with this gun, but pretty awesome find I got for extremely cheap. This one, another Polar Star AK. This one's in the family of if you've been on Hop Up and you see a AK that has been HPA'd, if you had two guesses at what engine would be in it, and you said Kythera for both of them, you would be right, because they're not very easy to tune if you're not used to messing with HPA engines. We're gonna work with this one. Now, what's special about this one is this is actually an Arcturus AK, which, if you're familiar with, you really can't HPA if you don't change the gearbox shell. So the gearbox shell has been changed to facilitate the Kythera and shoots like dog shit. So we're gonna attempt to fix it. I believe it's an Arcturus AK-104 variant. I don't know what they call it, but super cool gun. VFC Scar H, self-explanatory. Has an upgraded motor, has a max hop unit in it, PWS SRX. I believe it's Mad Bull OEM'd. Rail extension, super cool. Fires and shoots relatively fine. It's just been floating around and I haven't figured out what we're gonna do with it, but we'll probably make a video with it. This is the Elite Force Competition Series, MP5 SD6. A lot happening here. Missing a selector switch, doesn't function, has a cursed sticker on it for those who know. Definitely played with it insane, rip. And we're gonna do some stuff to it. It doesn't function and it's super cheap, so we can do kind of like whatever we want to it. We're gonna see where it ends up, but as it sits, probably worth like $20. All right, so this one's kind of a rare one. This is a gun that I've actually had for quite a while now. This is a VFC OEM'd 416A4, and this is a limited edition run. 2 runs of them, 500 each for the US in this kind of like peanut butter bronze, which I know the A5s are constantly being made in this color, but this is actually darker if you compare them side by side. And it has, the big difference is it has a flat magwell, flat trigger guard, big boy stock, and it doesn't have that ugly ass like front flip up sight, and it has like the OG sights. So those are the main differences. I'm sure there's some other ones that I'm missing, but I bought this off of the son of someone who used to own an airsoft field around here, and it just didn't work. So we're gonna HPA it, do something cool, and this gun will definitely be on the channel a lot. SEMA or JG AK, not sure. Plastic, railed handguard, and that's pretty much it. This is pretty cool. For a lot of you, this would be pretty ugly, but this is an actual unmolested Armalite licensed old classic Army M15, which is what they were called, A4s. So this is pretty cool. I'm gonna flip it over so you guys can see the licensing on it. So there's the Armalite licensing, super cool, very hard to find, because if you know about these, if you field them, this finish wears off super quick. I mean, this really hasn't even been fielded, and I probably bumped it on a piece of gravel and already did that. So usually don't find these in very good condition. I'm gonna do like a retro style build on this, featured on the channel probably, and we'll go from there. But there's a lot of potential to be had here, especially if you've been in the airsoft scene for quite a while. These are really cool to see. VFC Avalon, Boneyard, functions, but doesn't have a lot going for it. Selector switch is all messed up. Missing parts on the rail, definitely has been opened, missing some pins and stuff like that. That whole gearbox is shifted, you can see, because you can't see straight through that. So definitely a lot of work to be done right here. Has a PTS hand grip, that ain't worth a lot when the whole gun just doesn't work. Here we have a rare VFC / Elite Force OEM'd 4CRS. And this was kind of like, it was kind of like a play on an LWRC M6 with the rail style, but super cool. Pretty hard to find, and they're kind of unique when you do see them. So this one I got, it was pretty much new in the box from the person that I got it off of. Not really touched, not sure if we're going to be doing anything channel specific with it, but I will be probably HPAing it unless someone just really wants it in its current state and featuring it that way. SEMA AK has some Zeniko styled furniture. I'm sure it's not real Zeniko, but has a fake EOTech, fake flip to side. I think the EOTech's kind of falling apart. But I'm not gonna invest a lot in this gun. You might not see it again. This is cool and also pretty rare. This is not only an ICS L85 or L86, comments check me on which one it actually is, but it has the from factory rail integrated system instead of the normal handguard. I do have the normal handguard as well. And it has a SUSAT scope. And this is all ICS specific. This is an aftermarket, which is cool. They did have packages that came with it, but this is the carbine length. And it functions, it's just the safety stuck. So we're gonna get in there, it hasn't been open in a while, and clean it out. Probably do a little video on it just because they're a really cool gun. Very awkward to use. And yeah, you will see this gun again. ASG Scorpion Evo, everyone's seen them. This is actually an HPA one. So this was a from factory HPA'd Evo. I took the gearbox and everything, put it in an urban gray one. At one point I sold it, and then it made its way back to me after someone messed it up and it didn't shoot good, and I got it for virtually free when you did the math out. So we're gonna revive this, especially since now there's a new max hop-up out for it, see if we can get it to work. And yeah, has one of those cool amplifier tracer units, fits really well on it. Really nice and fun gun to use when it's working right, but these things are a little bit finicky unless you're really invested in them. Everybody knows what this is, and if you don't, this is an LCT G3. This is the olive furniture. I think it's the only furniture it comes with. Has a Polar Star Kythera in it. Missing the whole hop-up assembly, which it uses a specific hop-up. However, I think I can make an M4 one work, so we're gonna retune the Kythera as I learn more about them, and probably feature it on the channel, see if we can actually use a V2 hop-up in it, which I think we can. And as promised, I'm going to show you what's in this box. I pretty much completely forgot that I did have it, but it's really rare and you probably won't see another one unless you've played Airsoft for quite some time. And even then, they're not very common. And if you're an HK enthusiast, you're gonna love this thing. Oh. So this is the body of a limited edition M27 from Elite Force, probably about 5 or 6 years ago at this point. They only made 500 of them and they sold so terribly they never did it again. Just like that A4 over there, it's still A4 styled like the M27s that I think they still make. They might not anymore, but have all the pieces to it, including the stock buffer tube, pretty much everything to put it back together, just missing a gearbox shell. However, I'm not going to be keeping this because I already have one. Built this gun kind of during COVID behind closed doors. Some people have seen me with it already as I've tested it at the field and stuff, but for the most part, it's completely done. I've done the barrel work, the engine's set. I'll do an in-depth video talking about the gun at some point, especially give gameplay with it. But other than that, here they all are in all their glory. This will be the last time you see some of them for sure, but a lot of these I will be finishing on the channel and I'll bring you guys along with me. And if you like the content, be sure to like, subscribe, and I'll end this video by hitting you in the face with a limited edition M27. Enjoy.
Over there. I didn't stop, except for the time I dropped my mag. That was the only time I stopped.
Of course you dropped. Oh, there's an inchworm. Hello.
Hi, buddy.
He'll give me good luck.
Put him in your hop-up. He'll shoot.
Oh,
no.
Well, shit.
Press F.